Good evening. Good evening, friends. Good evening. So sorry for the delay. So sorry that I'm late. Let's do a mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. I see a lot of people are already here. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Christine Hurd, hello. Beautiful Meg P. As always, so good to see you. Christine Hurd, you heard music? No, you probably just heard the trailer. Boricua, hello. Welcome on in. Elser One, hello. Good to see you, Lucy, darling. So good to see you. How's my audio, friends? Can you hear me? You don't hear anything? Oh, maybe you were talking to someone else, Meg. Hi, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Tuesday. Welcome on in, everybody. Don Patterson, hello. Brooms up, bitches. That's right. Hello, Wade Bird. Good to see you. Donna Salamander, hello. All right. Hopefully everything is good. I think my audio is good. I checked all my settings. We should be where we're supposed to be. All right, so let's get back into looking at some more of these pics tonight. Angela Luster, hello. I just want to give a big shout out to Diane Draper, wherever she is. Thank you so much, Diane Draper. And also a big shout out to my Mercy Cat. You two are amazing, and thank you so much for your support and your tips and your love that you send me. I truly appreciate it. Big shout out. Skullmachi as well. Skullmachi. Diane Draper, there you are, darling. I was just saying thank you to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Sometimes I'm never sure if anybody wants me to say their name, like when they send me something. So if you never want me to say your name or whatever, just let me know and I won't. Audio is great. Oh, well, thank you. You did not hear any of the trailer. Yeah, no problem. I just have like a little trailer intro video on the live. Leah Story, hello, you're working and driving? Well, I'm so sorry that you're working, honey, and driving. You be safe out there. Meg, you didn't hear a trailer either. That's fine. I just have one set for like anybody who clicks into the live early or whatever. Mama Five, hello. Good to see you. All right, well, I figured I'll give it a few minutes, let some notifications click in. We're live, brooms up. Um, Kane B, hello. Good to see you. Welcome on in, sir. I should probably, I'm sure you guys have seen, I created quite the kerfuffle, I guess, with my little trap door tirade that I went on, okay? So I need to clarify. As much as I appreciate every single person who commented on the community tab with those photos to say what they think it is, what they think the door is, where they think the door goes. As much as I appreciate all of you, I was never, ever trying to figure out what it is or where it goes. It's obvious what it is, right? And to me, it doesn't matter where it goes. The whole reason that I brought up that stupid fucking trap door and the attic space is because the only thing that's super interesting to me about it is that it's not mentioned in any of the reports from Moscow police or from Idaho State Police. It's not even in the little sketch that the crime scene technician is drawing for each floor of the home. So that's the only reason that I find it interesting, is because obviously those areas, they looked in them. Yeah. I think based on what I showed in the photos in the last live, I think it was, you can clearly see that they have brought in a huge ladder to the third floor. It's in the hallway in some of the photos. Okay? So I just find it interesting that it does appear that at some point, as they are doing a forensic sweep of this house, they pull out a ladder Bring it to the third floor. It's right outside Maddie's door, which is exactly where that attic space is. And it looks like that's what they're getting into, is the attic space. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I have no problem being wrong. The only thing I find interesting is that they didn't document it. It's not documented. So I'm not trying to figure out if it's a crawl space, if it's a space to the attic, if it's a storage room, if it goes to the laundry, if it goes to the duct work. I'm not trying to figure that out. To me, it doesn't matter where the fucking space goes. What I do know is that it's a weird little trap door inside of her room. I don't care what the space is for. Okay. What I find very interesting is that it's not documented in any of their reports. Those two areas of the home aren't documented in anything. Their drawings, their reports, they've never discussed it. It's never been talked about that those two areas were even searched, photographed, right? If you're going through the attic and you are going to search the attic, where are the photos documenting that? Where are the reports documenting that you found a crawl space, that you found an attic space and searched it? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. I only find it interesting that it's not documented. So I just wanted to clear that up. Just wanted to clear that up. Okay. JJ, what up, JJ? Good to see you, GCD. Welcome on in. Amy Conway, hello. Mama 5, hello. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. C Mastiff, hello. You know, I appreciate everybody giving me their ideas on what they think the fucking space is. But that was never what I was asking. Ever, ever, ever. So I just wanted to clear that up. It caused quite the kerfuffle in the comment section. Really did. I had someone like, your theory doesn't even make sense. Why don't you explain to me how this person was able to get in and out of the house without leaving any prints? I'm like, no, that's actually precisely what I'm saying, though. I don't have a theory. I'm asking the question the same as the investigators are, the same as the experts are. The lack of shoe prints, footprints, boot prints that should be present, even if they were cleaned. Even if someone is, we've seen Xana's room. So whoever slipped and slid around in all that blood in Xana's room, how did they get out of the room and out of an exit of the house without leaving a footprint, a boot print, a shoe print? Nothing. Going towards an exit. That's the point. How did they get from and not leave evidence of going room to room and also exiting? And I'm not these are the experts on the case who have seen all of the discovery and all of the photos, unredacted. They also have the same questions, because even if those shoe prints, boot prints, etc., were cleaned up, the amido would have detected the cleanup. Do you get what I'm saying? So even all the amido that they laid down in Xana's room, in upstairs, in the room and in the hallway, it didn't detect shoe prints, boot prints, nothing that were even cleaned up. So I think that's the weirdest thing about it. How did this person inflict this many wounds? They would, it would appear, be definitely almost covered in blood. Surely you would have blood on your shoes, even if you had booties over your shoes. You're still going to leave like a trace, a print of that as you're exiting somewhere. Right? And that's what Dr. Turvey is saying. The lack of any prints showing how the person exited. Persons. How did they exit? Right? Because they talk about the slider. Okay, so if you just did what you did upstairs, you can't be, and Dr. Turvey is saying the attack started on the third floor, not the second. So the attack starts on the third floor. How did you get from the third floor into Xana's room and not leave a single print from your feet, whether you had booties on, whatever, right? And then all of what occurs in Xana's room, all of that blood that's on the floor that is smeared, that looks like it has drag marks, that looks like it has fingerprints in it, etc., right? You mean to tell me that this person, the killer and or killers, were able to inflict that much damage in that room, have that much blood all over that floor in that room, and they didn't leave a single shoe print coming out of that room, even with a booty on? Does anybody else think that's incredibly, incredibly strange? And there's no prints leading to the exits, any of the three exits, other than this like one latent print that they picked up outside Dylan's door. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's very, very strange. I'm not the only one who thinks it's strange. There are experts and people on this case who also think it's very fucking strange. And, I just wanted to clarify. When I talk about that stupid little trapdoor in the attic, the only reason I think it's interesting is because, well, it's not documented. None of it's documented. So, anyways, let me come back over to chat. I wanted to keep my thoughts together. Hopefully everybody understands what I'm saying. I appreciate all of your input on the trap door and the attic and whatever, but the only thing that's the most interesting to me about either one of those spaces is that neither of them are documented. So, just wanted to clear that up. Buggles. Hello, Mark B. Hello, good to see you. Well, that's what I mean. I don't know, Mark B. What cleaning product hides blood from amido? I mean, I don't think anything, really. I think I could look it up, but there's not even evidence of like shoe prints or footprints or boot prints being cleaned up. What cleaning chemical Okay, let's see what we got here. What cleaning chemical will hide blood from amido black detection? Let's see. Amido black detects blood by staining proteins, therefore cleaners that degrade proteins are most effective at reducing its detection. Hydrogen peroxide and oxygen-based cleaners, also like sodium percarbonate, are effective at breaking down blood proteins, often destroying both the blood and the DNA. These, along with other strong oxidizing agents, can inhibit, though not always completely eliminate, detection. So we have bleach, bleach or peroxide, but you'd still find evidence of that. So, I mean, look, all I know is that it's super interesting that, so like, I've always looked at it from the standpoint of if whoever, right, no matter who it is, Brian or whoever, if they went in and only like poked each person once, I could see that possibly you would have limited blood on your person and therefore might be able to kind of get away with not really leaving any trace of you, right? A shoe print, a boot print, whatever, transfer. But we've seen the photos. We've seen what the rooms look like. Even the experts on this case agree. Highly unlikely that you're going to, especially in Xana's room, if the attack occurred on the third floor, even if you made it from the third floor to the first, not necessarily covered. By the time you got done in Xana's room, you're pretty covered. You have definitely got blood all over your feet and whatever footwear, foot coverings that you are wearing. How did you get out of that room? And you did not track anything towards the exit that you left out of. I'm just saying. So it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, OxyClean, soap. It says peroxide or bleach, but even that can be detected. Even that can definitely be detected. They can find evidence of cleanup. You know what I mean? So it's just always super interesting to me. This is why I did I did my whole crash out a few weeks ago, in a live. How did Dexter leave the house and get from the slider to his car in under 60 seconds and not transfer a single trace of this crime into the vehicle he allegedly fled in, right? I don't know how you did it. Um, and now it's even more interesting that there's not even evidence of shoe prints, boot prints, footprints cleaned up. You would expect to see multiple coming out of Xana's room and then towards whatever exit they left from. So either way, very, very interesting. Very interesting. I don't know how it was done. I don't know how they did it. But it's super freaking crazy. I actually can't wait. I hope we get Dr. Turvey and Nodell's like full disclosures and their findings and what they believe. I want to see what they plan to talk about at trial, what they believe they found, what conclusions they believe they came to based on their crime scene reconstruction, their forensics investigation, their criminal investigation that they were doing in the background. I can't wait to see if I hope we get their full disclosures, to be honest with you. I really do. Right Turn Clyde, welcome on in. Anonymous Mystic, hello. Jesse Lynn, so good to see you, honey. Beckles, hello. If I'm missing anyone, I'm so sorry. Trying to get back to my chat. Hope everybody's having a great night. The Daylene, hello. Welcome on in. Mark B, FBI experts would know. Yes. Agree, honey. Agree. So good to see everyone. Hope you're all having a great night. So we'll get back into it. I think I got my bullshit out of the way. I at least wanted to clarify the little kerfuffle I caused by talking about that trapdoor. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Sorry, guys. We still got bad weather, so hang on. Oh, and this guy outside my house right now. What are these guys doing? Uh-oh, guys, we might be having a problem. It looks like the internet company or the electric company or somebody's outside at the pole. They better not be messing with everything right now. We are having some bad weather, though. Supposed to be getting another storm, too. Let me see, GCD, what you got for me? How do we know the amido black stains on the floors are not dog urine, Murphy, or even previous pets in the home? I think they tested, so they were presumptive positive for blood. So I think a lot of the areas that they did put the amido, the reason that they did the amido is because they got presumptive positive tests for blood. But I could be wrong, so don't quote me. Fitzy or someone else in the chat would know better. Am I getting a delay, guys? Do I keep cutting out? Because on my end, it looks like it keeps freezing. So, and like I said, I just looked out the window and I saw that there's Eversource and, yeah, there's like the electric company and the cable company or somebody out there. There's a couple trucks. Hang on one second. Hopefully it's not cutting out on me. Okay, cool. Every now and then it just looks like it's freezing up for me. Okay, sorry. So yeah, JJ, I mean, I don't know. I think that I think that the reason they did the amido in the spots that they did it is because they were getting like presumptive positives. So, I don't know. Okay, sound is good. Carrie, hello. Welcome on in. All right, cool, cool. Sound is good. Awesome. Roxy, hello. Lucy. Yeah, they're always here. They're always here. I swear I'm like a damn magnetic field or something. Okay. All right, so let's share screen. Where are we? I think we left off at 1174 last night, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think so. All right, so I'm going to pop the chat off the screen here. We're going to fix this, make that full screen for you. Hopefully everybody can see that all right. Yes, Blue Devil. Almost every window in the house was unlocked. Yes, except for Bethany and Dylan's. Those were the two that were locked. Yeah. Balcony door unlocked. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know, Meg. I am. I have my own energy field. Yeah, exactly. They're coming to spy on me. That's exactly why I was just looking out the window. I'm like, what are they doing over here on the pole, fuckers? But now they're gone. That was quick. That was quick. Maybe they did come put a bug. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know what they were doing. But I think we're okay. Oh, well, thanks, Anonymous Mystic. I mean, you know, you go where your heart, follow your heart, darling. That's what I say here, right? Follow your heart. Thumbs it up, thumbs it down. Follow your heart, not your frown. Okay. So, let's see. This is where we left off last night. Oh, yeah, by the way, before we get too far into this, as always, friends, do not ever listen to me. I am no one. I don't know shit. I am just some witch cackling bitch on the internet who rides around on a broom. I like to look at court documents. I like to look at crime scene photos. I geek out on blood and things like that. And if that's not your cup of tea, you should click out. You've been warned. Don't continue to watch. We are looking at crime scene photos. And if that's something you don't like, then you have plenty of time to click out. Okay? Plenty of time to click out. If you don't like looking at crime scene photos or talking about crime, I'm not exactly sure why you'd be in a true crime chat of any kind on YouTube, but to each their own. Fair warning, you have time to click out. Jackie B, hello, good to see you. Yes, Jessie Lynn, everyone hit the like. Thumbs it up, thumbs it down. Okay, so GCD. Sorry. Let me see here. This is diluted blood. Just saying, the Muppets are full of shit. I have no idea. I have no idea, JJ. Some are diluted. In the Sutton report, she had to concede with like Nodell and Turvey there that, in fact, some of these samples that she attributed to X, Y, or Z, saying that they were like aspirated or something, that they had like saliva or whatever in them. She had to concede that, in fact, it's not. It's because she's talking about it after it was diluted and swabbed. I forget the exact wording, but it's in that Sutton report. The Sutton rebuttal, the amended rebuttal disclosure. So yeah, it's in there somewhere, darling. Yes, Boricua, let's do this, exactly. Okay. So, you've had time to click out. I suggest you do so. We're back in Ethan and Xana's room. This is where we left off last night. We are under the bed. If you missed any of the previous lives, you should go back and watch them. But I'm sure everyone by now has already seen all of these photos and watched probably 30 other channels cover them. So, let's get into it. We are now under the bed. Underneath this bed is just absolutely diabolical. Honestly, in my opinion, out of this entire house, I truly believe that this underneath this bed and where Ethan was is like probably some of the most diabolical shit I've seen in a long time. And, I've been geeking out on crime scenes since I was like fucking 12. Okay. It's just something, listen, my grandmother, it was like her hobby, and she got me into it. I used to hang out with my grandmother, um, geeking out on this stuff. So, and I gotta say, we have looked at some crazy, crazy crime scenes, my grandmother and I, when I was younger. And even in my adult life, I don't think I've ever seen really anything that's diabolical. Actually, Nicole Brown Simpson was probably right up there with this crime scene for me. It's pretty diabolical what they did to Ethan. I mean, it's diabolical what they did to all of them, but holy shit. Man, this is after they've already moved everything around and stuff, and I know there was a spot on this floor. We'll get to it in a minute, that I want to talk about. But unfortunately, this is also after they've moved Xana and Ethan out of the room. They've moved things out of the way. They've moved stools, pillows, blankets, etc. You could see, like, poor Ethan, man. I mean, this kid, sadly, he just bled out over here on the bed. Looks like mostly it all just dripped, it all dripped down the frame and pooled underneath the bed, but absolutely diabolical, in my opinion. Like, this is why I say whoever did, let me just pause here for a second. I don't ever want anyone to get it confused, right? Kohberger pled to this. And whoever did this, Kohberger, Kohberger and his friends, whoever did this, okay, in my opinion, absolutely deserves the death penalty. Whoever did this, they are fucking monsters. Monsters. They deserve death. Which is why it makes me so fucking mad a plea was ever negotiated by the state. Right? How damn dare you? State of Idaho, Jeff Nye, Bill Thompson, Ashley Jennings, Josh Hurwitz. You absolute, unbelievable pieces of shit. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'm sorry, guys. In my opinion, whoever did this, I don't care if it's Kohberger and a buddy, whoever. Absolute fucking monsters. They deserve the death penalty. There never should have been a plea negotiated. In my opinion. In my opinion. Okay? So don't ever get it twisted, right? Please don't ever get it twisted. Whoever did this is a fucking monster. They deserve to die. So, just my opinion. And if Kohberger was with a buddy or two buddies or whoever, tell on them. I want them in jail too. I want them sitting next to Kohberger. I don't care who it is. I literally don't. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is, and I don't care how they're connected. I want them fucking charged. I want everyone involved charged. All of them. Doesn't matter to me. Whoever participated, whoever helped cleaned up, whoever, whatever your role was, I want you fucking charged accordingly. Moving along. So, this photo, they've moved the stool, but I think it was Christy Nevada. She was in my chat, right? Or leaving a comment or something. We were trying to figure out, like, that void over there where the freaking nightstand is here by the bed. And when you look at it at a different angle, it almost has, like, a square shape to it. And she said, what if it was that Coors Light box? And actually, it would kind of fit perfectly right there. So I just wanted to, like, throw that out there. Because the nightstand originally was over here. And it would makes sense if the nightstand's back in its spot and the Coors Light box would have been, next to the bed, maybe. I'm just saying, would make sense. But here, so when we look at this right here, this is what I mean by how did the killer get out of this room and not step into any of this and track it out of the room when they left. Let's look at all this blood here for a minute. Let's think of any plausible way that the killers or killers was slipping and sliding around in all of this blood. And there's not one single shoe print, boot print, booty print, nothing. Exiting this room. Isn't that strange? How would you slip around and slide around in all of this and make it out of this room without leaving anything behind? How'd you do it? And I would need the state's experts to explain it scientifically. How? And you can't just say, oh, well, they could have just put on a covering. Oh, they could have just cleaned their shoes. They could have just cleaned. Okay, well, the only way they would have been able to do that is to go straight from Xana's room into that bathroom right next to her room. And they would have had to take showers, strip their clothes off, put it all in a bag. That is the only thing that I could think of. And even still, going from her room into that bathroom, you would have had to, you're gonna leave something, even one little print. And even if someone cleaned it up, I think the Amito would have detected it. Right, exactly. How did you check prints? How did anybody even go in there? Could this be from the officer? I don't know. I'm just saying, it doesn't make sense to me. There's no footprints, boot prints, shoe prints, nothing. Exiting this room. And it's not just me saying it. The experts on this case agree there is a lack. They all agree, including the state's expert, agree. It's interesting that the lack of footprints, boot prints, shoe prints, booty prints, foot coverings, anything, the absolute lack of it, leaving either of the two rooms and out of an exit. It's very interesting. Lori Davidson, hello. Moonlit Baby, hello. Blue Devil, hello. Welcome on in, everybody. Crypto Blue, hello. Hellfire Records, hello. Sorry, going through chat. So, I just wanted to pause here on this picture for a moment and let everybody marinate on that. Leslie and Billy, hello. Mama 5, throwing up red flags. Does that mean my audio, Mama 5? Or are you saying it's a red flag, there's no shoe prints? Beckles, yes, I'm reading chat. Sorry, honey, I'm trying to get to it. What do you need me to read, darling? I'm trying to get to your chat. I'm sorry, honey. I don't see anything. Sorry, Beckles. If you put a comment, I missed it, honey, if you want to put it again. Yes, I'm able to read chat. Mittens for kittens. Okay, it is working. Okay. I saw the red flags and I got PTSD. Okay. Beckles. Here we go. My husband, who I just now showed these photos to, asked him how a person would get out of this room without leaving a trail. His answer, change their clothes before they left the room and their shoes. Interesting. Well, see, now that would be, I can totally agree with that, Beckles, right? Except that's not what the state alleges Kohberger did, right? The state alleges that Kohberger got out of this house and this room and didn't transfer a single drop of this crime to his vehicle, and he didn't have time to change in the house. They didn't allege that he changed in the house, right? So that's the only thing that, this is what I'm saying. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit the state's theory that he had time to, he just hung around and changed his clothes and changed his shoes and all of this stuff. And that was what the state's expert was trying to throw out there. Well, he could have had time to just wash off his shoes and change his clothes and clean the bottom of his shoes, and that's why there's no prints. And I'm like, what the fuck? You just hung out? But, okay. So, let's continue. Yeah, I think I even talked about this last night too. A lot of this darker blood, I'm not 100% sure, but it does look like gastric blood. It also could just be different drying because of the way it clotted. I'm not 100% sure. It's very interesting, the variations in color of that blood. This is behind the door here. A lot of these photos, too, are wicked bright. This was the other thing that's interesting to me. There is this, like, one drop, like, couple of little, like, drops on the back of the door here that looked, which is interesting, because, we went over it last night, the light switch here in this room a little bit higher up, so you can see there's, like, one drop here down. You have a couple of drops here on, like, the back of this door. But, like, right up over here, it's out of frame right now, but, like, the light switch, you have spatter there on that light switch that's going in, like, two different directions. Some of the spatter is going, like, towards the right into, I'll try and zoom in on it here. Might not be able to see it as well. But, like, up here, we have spatter that's going this way, like, towards the right, and then we have spatter that's going down, like across the light switch and like towards the left. So it's interesting that you have spatter here going in two different directions in the same spot. And then like on the back of the door, like how would it be there? The door would have to be closed to get on the back of the door. There's a lot of it on the front of the door, but it's just interesting to me. We have some back here, right? So some back here on the door here, and then some back here on the wall, which would imply at some point this door was shut when this blood is in flight and, flying around and landing where it lands. And the directionality of it, too, is interesting. Because it would also imply the door was closed. Got one here and one here. And they have this downward, like towards, they have this downward left trajectory here. So I'm not sure. And then down here, the droplets on the floor. So it's like, could just be cast off or something like that, or it's coming off the weapon. Maybe as the person standing by the door, kicking their shoes. And changing their clothes. Interesting. They'd be behind the door, changing their clothes, taking their shoes off. No shit. Okay. A lot of this is redacted, obviously heavily. kind of doesn't matter if they did anything in the bathrooms, considering they moved lots of things from Xana's room into the bathroom. Right. Yeah, exactly, Lucy. Yep. Didn't they pull out of that dryer, too? They pulled some stuff out of the dryer, I thought, or the washer. Thought it said something about, like, pink pants, pink sweatpants, and, like, a hoodie or something that they pulled out of the washer and the dryer. Um, I feel like I remember that. Um, yeah, some of these photos, obviously, they're very heavily redacted, which is fine. Even when I asked for these photos and I was arguing with Matthew Gamet back and forth, I was like, dude, I don't need pictures of the deceased. I don't want the photos of the actual deceased in the room. I just want the photos of the blood. Had to fight for months for this shit. Okay, so now we're getting to where they started swabbing here. Well, I don't know what the hell they're doing here, actually, to be honest with you, because they've moved everything so much around in this room that it's insane. But obviously, now they're photographing the leg of the desk here. I know a lot of people are saying that it looks like somebody wrote something here. I'm not 100% sure. I think it actually looks more like two swabs side by side, but then again, I don't know. I tried to zoom in. Like, personally, I don't think it looks like a word, but I know there are people who think that, and that's okay. I mean, to me, I kind of feel like I can see, like, an O and, like, a N or, like, a W. I'm not sure. Something OW. But to be honest with you, it could just be... Looks more like if they had, like, two swabs and were, like... But I don't know. I mean, these two definitely do look like letters, but I'm really not 100% sure, you know. That can be somebody else's brainworm. It's not going to be mine, okay? I hope everybody's fine with that. Chat, you good with that? That can be somebody else's brainworm. It doesn't have to be mine. Is that okay? We can let somebody else have the brainworm of what might be scrawled into the blood here on the side of the desk. That doesn't need to be my brainworm. That can be someone else's. I hope everybody's fine with that. Buggles. WSU Kim said BF and... Okay. Well, love you, Buggles, but with all due respect, I don't give a flying single monkey shit what WSU Kim said. Okay. I appreciate you, though. I really do, Buggles. But I don't care what WSU Kim said. Okay? At all. Not even a little. Not even one iota. I got to talk to that woman a long time ago in the beginning of this case, and all it took was about 6 questions of me questioning her on somebody else's panel. I got about 6 questions in, and I knew right away, whatever she's doing, she wasn't doing it to speak truth. She was deflecting. Just my opinion, so I don't give a shit what she says. But yeah, this can be somebody else's brainworm. I have no idea if Xana tried to scrawl in the name of the killer on the side of the leg of the desk here. But that can be somebody else's brainworm. I have no idea what that is. I mean, it does. There's two spots here where I could say it kind of does look like letters. But you know what? I have enough brainworms, and I don't need another one. If it says a word, it says a word, great, and hopefully somebody else will figure that out for us, because I'm not going to do it. Okay. Yeah, so this here, this was interesting too because this obviously is a lot of transfer here, and I'm really wondering the more that I looked at it, if it's actually like from her clothes. 'Cause the way that this was positioned next to the bed and the way that that pooling is or was around this nightstand before they moved it. A lot of this looks like a lot of passive like transfers coming off of her clothes as she's trying to fight back. Um, this actually could be like a cessation pattern, but a lot of these look more like transfer, maybe from her clothes, her hair. I'm not sure because some of these streaks are really, really thin and small. And I'm wondering if it's from her hair, to be honest with you. Um, but all I know is if Brian, he pled to it, great. And if he didn't act alone, I'm telling you, they better catch the other motherfuckers that were with him and charge them immediately. They're fucking monsters and they all deserve to be dead or in prison for the rest of their lives. Whoever did this, they're monsters. They're actual demons. Okay? Demons. And if that also is Kohberger, fine. He's a demon too, and he should be sitting right where he's at. Personally, I think that he shouldn't have gotten a plea. He should have. They should have went for the death penalty on this. But we don't know everything. This right here. So, I know we were looking at this last night, and I'm like, it really does kind of look like a footprint. To me, it looks like the foot was injured, right? Now, I could be wrong. Maybe this isn't a footprint. To me, it looks like it would be the right foot of a human being, but the foot has been injured. Like, to me, I can see that this would be like that little like ball by your big toe. This would be a big toe, middle toe, third toe, but then there's something going on here with these last two toes. To me, you can see like the arch. This looks like it would be a right foot, and this would be the ball of the foot. However, more and more that I looked at this room and the way that this circular pattern is, for me, it's like a perfect circle. It's a little too perfect. And I'm starting to think it might be from the stool because the stool has those little, it has the roller ball feet on that pink fluffy stool. And I think that it could be from that. This portion may still be part of the foot, but I'm wondering if that stool at some point was also in blood, I guess would be the best. At some point, like blood pooled around one of the wheels of the stool. Yes, or beer can. Right. Christine heard. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and that's fine. Vanilla, what up? It ain't Kohberger. Well, I mean, that's fine. You're entitled to that opinion. Kohberger pled guilty to it, though, unfortunately. And he's never denied that it's his sheath, and he's never denied it's his DNA on the sheath. So, keep those three things in mind. I agree. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Trust me, there was a long time there, too, where I thought, nah, they got the wrong guy. I drove to Pennsylvania for the subpoena hearings for all of the people that the defense subpoenaed in Pennsylvania. I was there for that court hearing and drove there. So trust me, I put in a lot of effort into this case. I put in a lot of work into this case. And there was a time, too, where I thought, Mr. Kohberger, maybe they got the wrong guy. But then Mr. Kohberger pled, and his defense team has never argued that it's not his sheath and it's not his DNA. So that's kind of a problem, whether we think he's innocent or not. All I'm saying is that whether he's innocent, he's not, is irrelevant. He pled guilty, and if he did this, he's a fucking monster. He deserves to be where he's at. And if he didn't do it alone, well, then every other person who was with him should also be sitting next to him. But do you see what I mean about how this definitely, to me, so like this part here looks definitely like a foot, but like a foot that's been injured. And this here is like a perfect circle. So maybe it is from a beer can. Maybe it is just the ball of a foot, but to me, this is like a perfect circle. And I'm wondering if it's from that stool, to be honest with you. I'm not 100% sure, but it does kind of look a little bit too perfect for me. Like this, to me, definitely looks like a foot, though. More specifically, a right foot. Okay, and they definitely got a lot of photos of this as well, you know, even in different contrasts and stuff. Maybe it's not a foot. It looks like an injured footprint to me or something. Like there's something wrong with these toes here or something. The pinky toe and the toe next to the pinky toe. It's what it looks like to me. Like something happened to, like there's an injury here. But what do I know? You know, I don't know shit. Don't ever listen to me, friends. I don't know anything. Look at the pictures yourself. Come to your own conclusions. Um, it's super interesting to me, though. Like this could be the footprint of a killer, I guess. We don't know, right? Because of the lack of prints, the lack of any shoe prints or boot prints or whatever, you know? Vanilla. Do you think we'll ever find out the male blood on the sheath? I don't know that there was male blood on the sheath. Who said there was male blood on the sheath? I don't think there is male blood on the sheath. I know that there is more than one male DNA on the sheath. Um, but I don't think there was other blood. I think the only blood found on the sheath were Kaylee and Maddie's, if I remember correctly. Joanne, hello. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, okay. There you go, Lucy. Yeah, maybe. Could be from whatever the person was carrying. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Pretty crazy, though, huh? Like, at first, I thought it looks like the ball of a foot, you know? Like your heel, I guess you could say. Your heel. But it's really too much of a perfect circle for me. And it really does look like, um, you know, they took a lot of photos of this one. Okay. But to me, it almost looks like this circular thing. It looks like it came from a wheel on the stool, to be honest. Um, See what I mean? That perfect, like, round circle. I think it's from the stool. Because it's got, like, a double ring to it, too. There's the outer ring, and then this middle ring. Maybe it is a beer can. From one of them Coors Light cans, maybe. A ring to it. But, like, this definitely, like, it's like the last two digits on this foot are injured. You can even see, like, the distorted, right? Right here and right here. It's like something happened to the last two digits on this foot here. And then, I don't know. I have no idea what this is. Okay. A tooth, a bone fragment. I have no idea. That right there, it could just be a piece of dirt. It could be God knows what. To me, it kind of looks like a piece of a tooth, but I have no clue. It's interesting, though, that it's smack dab in the middle of all the blood. So that's interesting. And the other thing that I thought was interesting, too, is like, now we know Murphy. A lot of hair and dust on the floors in here, but usually when you're finding hairs in blood or like on top of blood, blonde hairs, there's some blonde hairs like mixed in with this here. See if we can get in on it. Might just be Murphy hair. But I noticed in some of these photos, also depends on the light in the photo too. You can see it better in some of the photos, and in some of them you can't. Like, yeah, I can't tell if that's a piece of a tooth or what the hell that is. But, like, there's these, like, blondish hairs. Yeah, I can't tell. Is that a tooth? Well, either way, they were very interested in this print, and they got many, many photos of it. Many. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, yeah, see. Let's see it better in these photos. See all these blonde hairs? These lighter, whiter hairs. Some that are like going through the blood as well. Maybe this is from a beer can. I don't know though. Telling you, I can't tell if this is a piece of a tooth or what that is, man. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a piece of tooth? That little white thing? I really can't tell, but it's interesting. It's like in the middle of this footprint here. Let me come back over to my chat. Thank you, Lucy. You're talking about the sheath, right? The other male profile was in a mix sample. The mix sample contained victim blood. We don't think we will ever know the biological material that came from the other male profile. Right. Okay, gotcha, honey. Right. Because she's the one who had damage to her teeth, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't see the metal pieces, Christine, no, but... Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, they took a lot of photos of this. I mean, there's so many photos of just this one print, right? Just this one spot. So, whatever it is, they were also very interested in it, and they also found it to be very interesting. So, I'm glad I'm not the only one, because they photographed the shit out of this thing. I think they took more photos of this one spot than anywhere else in the house, to be honest. Which is pretty crazy, because Xana's the only one who had her foot bagged, right? Is that correct? Is Xana the only one who had a foot bagged? Because now I'm having a hard time remember. Who was it that had to have their foot bagged? Was it Xana? Sorry, I'm trying to look at my chat. Candy Girl, hello. How you doing, honey? Candy Girl. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like I vaguely remember one of them had to have a foot bagged. Their left foot or something like that was bagged, I thought. Someone refresh me, okay? Lucy, Meg, if anybody remembers, I'd appreciate it. It was Anna. Okay, thank you. One hand, one foot. Perfect. Okay. Thank you so much. She only had 4 nail clippings on her right hand, not 5. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Keep that in mind. File that in the Rolodex for later. What do we got here? Let's see what they got here for measurements. Millimeters. Okay. So what do we got here? They're going in mil. So if we go by this in millimeters, we're looking at about 250 millimeters. No, not what I meant to do. No, I'm not interested in the AI, thank you. So 250 millimeters in inches is 9.84 inches. What size shoe Okay, so a foot length of 9.84 inches typically corresponds to a U.S. woman's size 8 or a men's size 6.5, 7. So, if we go by their measurement here, and if we include this as part of the foot, I guess, if we assume this is the ball of the foot, the heel of the foot, it looks like we have an approximate woman's size 8 foot here, or a men's size 6.5, 7. If that's helpful. But not 100% sure if this circular portion here is the actual heel of the foot or not. Okay. Yeah, see how many photos they got of this one spot, dude? Like, literally, they took more photos of this one thing than almost anything else. Literally. I don't think there's any other item that has this photos taken of it. It's pretty wild, actually. Yeah, you can see it here better, the hair. They almost look like gray hair, to be honest with you. Isn't that weird? They look like little short gray hairs. Little short, like, white hairs. Okay. I mean, I can't believe how many photos of this one thing they have, honestly. There's at least, what, 30, 40 of them? They really did take a lot of photos of this. Like, oh my god, it's never ending on just this one print. Whatever this print is, it is so significant. It is so significant to these investigators for whatever reason. This one print. There we go. Now we're out of the prints. My god. See what I mean about the darkness of some of this blood here? It looks like gastric blood, honestly. And we know she was stabbed in the abdomen. And the void here. This is another one here. It might be from the weapon, like, hitting the wall, but when you get up close to it, it also looks like there's a couple streaks through it, like it's from her hair. So I'm wondering, you know, unfortunately, if she's, like, kind of down on the floor. Looks like most of her attack occurred at floor level. Whereas Ethan's attack is up here, wall level. Looks like everything for Xana's actually floor level. And if I remember correctly, this one here, they said this was like transfer. This is like transfer from the person's clothing or whatever. But a lot of this looks arterial. I don't know. It's weird because you have, it's almost look like, to me it looks like it's two different, like these smaller droplets deposited first, and then these longer streaky things came second. That's what it looks like to me. It's like these streakier ones actually came second and are on top of these smaller ones. And like, you know, I know there were a lot of people talking about like eyelashes and stuff on the wall. I'm not sure that's what it is. I think it's like, unfortunately, it's his hair. But, you know, I don't know. I'm not so convinced it's eyelashes. It's like even down in here. Looks like we have some, there's also like hair down there as well. We know this is where he was found. But yeah, I mean, to me it looks like these tinier drops were deposited first. And then whatever these like longer streaky things are came second. I don't know if that's from them swabbing and diluting. I have no idea. But this like spray pattern is super interesting. Take away these like streaky thingies. And if you forget about those and you're just looking at this spray pattern alone, like some of these tiny, tiny, super tiny droplets are insane. Because they almost look like high velocity spatter. And then, if I remember correctly, this key, I was trying to like look at it. I don't know. I think this might be for the Jeep. I'm not sure though, because it's on a Jeep like lanyard, but his car, though, looked like it hadn't moved in a really long time. Remember when we got that first batch of photos? Let me come back to chat. Remember when we got that first batch of photos and that Jeep, like the whole front grille and the windshield wipers were just stuffed with leaves? Like it had been sitting for a really long time. So... Bev Neal, hello. I've heard some FBI experts say he probably brought kill bags with him to change or strip off layered clothes and remove shoes. I wonder what the footprints outside look like, both coming and going. Well, that's the problem, Bev Neal. There's none, honey. There are no footprints, boot prints, shoe prints, nothing. Inside the rooms where the killings happened or leading out of the rooms to the exit points. So yeah, super interesting, Bev Neal. Sure is. Especially after slipping and sliding around in all this blood in Xana's room. You should definitely have at least one or two bloody shoe prints, boot prints, footprints, something exiting out of the room. But they're not there. So that's interesting. They were interested in this, like, one singular drop. Not sure why. I think because at some point, whatever happened here with this drop, it already dried. You could see the dried ring around it. And then the inner portion of the blood drop that was still wet appears to have been wiped away. And it's left that ring around. So, not sure. And then this one was interesting too because you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And these two, it's like they get bigger as they go. Right? So you have 2 that are about the same size here. And then these 2 are, these ones are a little bit bigger. So it's like they get bigger as they go. And this one dried. This is a blood droplet that dried and at some point was wiped or something, whatever, and it left that ring. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then this also looks like maybe finger smudges or... Okay. Yeah, see, this is what I meant too about, like, dripping on the outside of this door here. And it almost, like, perfectly lines up with these droplets here. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what I mean? So you've got these 1, 2. It's this arc shape to it too. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you were to turn this door just a little bit this way, I'd wonder if these 4 here would kind of sync up or line up with these 4 droplets on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just what it kind of looks like to me. But I don't know. These could also be the diluted ones they were talking about. I'm really not 100% sure. I don't know because the photos are out of order. Everything's all fucked up in these photos. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. There are the fries. See, so when you look at the fries from this angle, it's not a smiley face. They're just fries. But when you're looking at it from the other angle, it does look like a smiley face, for sure. But they're just fries. I promise, friends. Yeah, because, like, there's this, like, arc shape here with these drops. And then there's this void here. And then the drops start back up over here. So it's like someone's standing here. There's something standing, you know, there's something in here causing the void. In my opinion, it's a person. But what do I know? Yeah, I think these are the diluted ones. Is 36, let me come back to chat. Was 36 one of the diluted ones? I think it was. Yeah, Lori Davidson, yeah. This is after they had taken the victims out of the room. They moved a whole bunch of shit. They took the pillows off the bed, the blankets off the bed. They were just kind of piling stuff up to one side of the room. Then they moved a bunch of it into the bathroom. Then they put it back into the room. So, yeah, pretty much everything from this room got moved all over the place and then into the bathroom and then back into the room, unfortunately. Yes. So, yeah. If anybody knows, maybe if you remember, you know, if anybody remembers if number 36 is one of the things that was in that Sutton report that Nodell was saying was actually an item that in its original state it was not. This is it in its diluted state after swabbing, after forensics added dilution and whatever, right? I don't know if number 36 is one of those, but if it is, maybe that's why it looks like this. But to me, it doesn't look diluted. To me, it just looks like the blood did hit here and then dripped. This one definitely looks diluted. So like this one here, to me, that's the one that looks way more diluted than the rest. The rest look like full-on blood. Whereas this one definitely looks diluted. Interesting. Wonder how it got back here, though. Door would have had to have been closed. Okay. Let's continue. This is after they've taken all of those little, like, fabric cubby drawers out. Unfortunately, this is where Xana was found, was technically on the floor in front of this little, like, cubby dresser thingy. This pattern over here is super interesting, too, considering how she was found on the floor. So, like, you would have expected... I expected to see... Like, I'm not sure how all of this got over here, okay? Because she was found in front of this, technically, on the ground, and there's a cubby in the bottom here. The middle one was missing, and there's a cubby up here. How did this blood get back here and get in between here to go up this way without hitting any of this and without landing on the cubby drawer that was up here and the cubby drawer that was down here, right? So, like, these drawers would have had to have been out for the blood to make it back here, unless... Because, like, there isn't even enough space for her to be, like, fitting in here and for someone to be going after her. Like, I'm just trying to picture in my mind how it got around the object. That's the only thing that's sticking out in my brain. How the blood made it around and in between things that would have been blocking it. Like the cubby drawers. Like, I don't know. Look, it's not even here. It's not even on the little white bar. It managed to go all around it. Do you get what I'm saying? Does it hopefully I'm making sense. I hope I'm making sense. Let me come back to chat. How's everybody doing? Vonda. Hello, Vonda. I just like saying the name Vonda. Sounds so sexy, Vonda. Second State Films, hello. Do we know if Ethan's shoes were at the scene? I think there were, yeah, I think it looked like there were a few pairs of his shoes in the room. Hot 22 Boy 901, hello. How you doing? So hopefully you guys get where I'm going with this. Does anybody... Are you tracking what I'm saying here? How did the blood... get. So initially, this top drawer of this dresser thingy is here. It's a little black fabric drawer. The middle one is out. The middle one is out. The bottom one is in. So top and bottom have a dresser. Middle one doesn't. Yet all the blood is over here, and it's managed to go around the object and get back here when technically The drawer that was at the top should have blocked it from being back there. So I just can't, I hope you understand what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense to me. And there's none on the front of this thing. So, like, it's an all white thing, and there's no blood on the front. There's no blood on this bar, front bar, or the back bar. It managed to go all around it. See what I mean? There's not, like, even a little drop of it on the white bars, but it managed to go around it and get in the back. Right? Isn't that weird? Or it doesn't matter what the spatter's from. It's not about what the spatter's from. It's not about the weapon. It's not about the weapon. It's about that's just not how blood operates when it's in flight. It can't maneuver itself around objects. Especially when there's one object blocking it. So, like, you would expect to see the blood all over the fabric drawers before you would see it on the back of the wall behind the drawers, I guess is what I'm getting at. It should be all over the front of them. But I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? What do I know? It's just interesting to me how it's the spot that it's in. It looks almost as though it's in an upward. It's weird. It actually looks like it goes up. It's like concentrated here and it gets bigger and like cones itself out as it goes up. To me, it I don't know. It's very interesting to say the least. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's just very interesting to me. There doesn't appear to be much spatter at all on the bars in the front or the back. And the blood is managed. It's like it's working. It's going up this way away from this dresser thingy. But the drawers were in it. See? So it's this blood somehow managed to like get itself around drawers and stuff. I don't know. It's very interesting. Okay. So it looks like we're back out in the living room here. I feel like this one, was this the one also too, number 59 in the living room? This one was not positive for blood, if I remember correctly. I feel like one of these ones that was out in the living room. I did test it, and it was actually not blood. I just don't remember which one it was. Okay. See what I mean, though? Now the Coors Light box is up on the bed. So they moved all kinds of stuff around in this room. At this point, Ethan has already been taken out. The victims are already out of the room and stuff, but they put stuff on top of the bed. The Coors Light box that had the blood on it's been put on top of the bed. Some of these photos, like, you know, nothing really to look at here. As you can see, the Coors Light box is over here, the stool is over here, the nightstand's over here, these fabric drawers are out. But all this stuff has now been moved and then put back. Rug's been moved. I noticed too, like some of the photos, when they're doing like the darker contrast. It's almost like they're trying to, I can't tell if they were trying to figure out like how the room looked, because she said that, you know, it was dark and like it just looked like she was sleeping on the floor. So maybe they were trying to get an idea of like what the room looked like inside. But we know those string lights were on because there's photos, and like, um, from day of, right? Um, Whatever cop it was from MPD that took the photos with his phone or whatever, the ones they released to NBC. Um, the string lights in her room were on. I noticed too, like when they're doing their measuring here, I listen, I'm not an expert. I don't know shit. This is not what I do for a living, but I don't, I think you're supposed to put the tape at the floor, not at the trim. I think you're supposed to start your measurement from the floor, not up here, because then you're not going to get accurate measurements on the spatter, especially if you're doing like 3D modeling for stringing. Whether you're doing actual stringing, which they didn't do here. I don't think they did any stringing. I think they used the 3D software and the 3D modeling to do it. But whether you're doing modeling or actual stringing of the spatter, your measurements are going to be off if you're not putting this down correctly. So I'm almost positive. I mean, I don't know. Scotty will tell us. But I think this tape here is actually supposed to start here on the floor so that you're getting a proper measurement for height of spatter. So like what I mean is, say you, even if, because stringing is like something I just want to do a course in blood spatter just because I want to do stringing. I want to know how to do it the right way, and then just, you know, to me it be so fun to do it. There's a course local to me. I can do it. It's a blood spatter course. It's like 60 hours. I want to do it. So what I mean is, like, each one of these droplets here, you measure it. You can run a string through every single droplet. And when you run that string, and they're all going to meet in the middle somewhere. And when you meet, to me, that's just the coolest thing. That's it, but your height has to be correct. If you're going to be measuring, you know, where your spatter is off, you know, from the floor, 5 inches from the floor, 7 inches from the floor, it's 7 feet up from the floor. Whatever the case may be, you want to be starting at the floor, not at the trim. Yeah? I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you want your measurements to be accurate. So if you're going to say that droplets X, Y, and Z were 8 inches off the floor, but you're not measuring from the floor, your measurements would be off, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of these, I think all of them actually, they did it from the trim and not the floor. And then this here is obviously, like, I believe before they started doing anything with blood, they checked for prints, which is interesting because this is the only door I saw this on. Did you guys happen to see if this was also on, like, Maddie's door too? Maybe I just didn't notice it. But it looks like this is where they tried to do some fingerprint analysis. Isn't this also the door, Xana's room, that her dad had to fix, or the lock or something? Didn't her lock have to get fixed the week before? Or something like that? But it looks like they were dusting for fingerprints or something. And then I believe these are the diluted, these are some of the diluted um, swabbed areas by Talbot. I could be wrong. Let me check my chat. My chat knows more. They're smarter than me. Someone in the chat will tell us. I believe some of these, what's on this door here is actually like the diluted stuff from Talbot doing the swabbing, if I remember correctly. Yeah, see, so there's Ethan's shoes, Ethan's shoes. Somebody was asking, were Ethan's shoes in the room? I see 2 pairs there. Keys to the Jeep, maybe, or to his parents' car, I'm not sure. Interesting, there's a sleep mask right here, too, that was on the floor. It's that one, like, Coors Light can over here. Wonder if they, is it empty or is it full? Look at that. Maybe her dad did have to fix the lock on her door. Looks like this here maybe had to get fixed. I'm not sure. That was the other thing I noticed too. That bathroom over here, their bathroom that's next to Ethan and Xana's room. This part here, I forget what it's called. I couldn't remember it for the life of me last night either. Something plate. Some kind of plate. I forget what they call this. There's a specific name for it. But this part of the door right here, for this bathroom, it doesn't have one of these. It doesn't have any of this mechanism that goes here for this bathroom. And I just because that's where she heard Kaylee crying in the bathroom. And this right here, this part of the door, whatever that's called, that isn't there. It's not on the door though, it's the part that's like on the frame. It's missing. If we get to it, you'll see what I mean. They give us a photo of the bathroom there, which I think we get in a minute anyway. But yeah, I think a lot of this is the diluted stuff from Talbot. I'm not sure. It is diluted, regardless. However it got diluted, it's diluted. Q. Yeah, Q was one of the ones that was diluted by Talbot, if I remember correctly, and then marked wrong in the Sutton report. Correct, Lucy, darling? Meg, I'm sure one of you remember. Chat will tell you, friends. Even if I'm wrong about something, my chat will tell you. My mods will definitely tell you. I want them to tell me when I'm wrong. Yeah, see these drops at this arc shape right here. And there's like the void between the other drops. It's really weird. Yeah, they focused on these too. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's between, I would say, 1 millimeter and 3 millimeter. This one's like fully redacted, whatever it is. Don't know why there's just this one photo in between the photos of the blood drops on the floor that's fully redacted, and I have no idea why or what could be in it. If it's just photos of the floor that they're taking. Definitely look like passive, like nosebleed. Like, I was thinking, like, they obviously marked it, so they definitely swabbed it. I don't know who R belonged to, But to me, I was hoping, like, they at least found, since it looks like she fought so hard, I was really, like, she had to have gotten a kick to the lip, a kick to the nose, something to cause this person to bleed. Like, I feel like someone involved here, meaning a perps, whatever, were injured. And I was really hoping that some of these would, you know, then again, there was other people's blood in the house. They didn't even bother testing, so. Yeah, you can see, so in the background photo here, see what, this is what Lucy was talking about when she said doesn't matter because they just piled up a bunch of shit in the bathroom anyway. Look, you can see in the background photo here. Everything that was like inside their closet, inside Xana and Ethan's closet, on the floor, it's all been piled up in here, like all the way up to the damn fucking top of the sink. It's been piled up. That's how much of it has been piled up there. This is a good photo of like directionality. To me, it's obvious. To me, it's just blatantly obvious the two different directions happening here with the blood on this door frame. You have some going this way towards the right, and then this blood here is going this way, like downward and left, like towards inside the room. Whereas this up here is going down and to the right. It's like actual complete different directions. This way, and then this way. And that is just like, you can see it with just the naked eye. See, they pulled everything out of the closet. It's now in the bathroom because this whole floor was just covered in shit. Like the earlier photos of this closet, it looks like somebody ransacked it. Now they pulled it all out off the floor. They took the totes that were up here off the shelf. The totes looked like they had been gone through and were like flipped over. Which I thought was interesting when I was looking at the photo because I'm like, well, everything else seems to be really neat. You have all of these clothes that are folded pretty neat. Everything's hung up pretty neatly. All of these clothes, even inside the closet, it's like nice, neat little piles of folded clothes. But then there was just this whole floor was just piled up. There was like an empty humidifier steam cleaner box thingy over here. But yet the steam cleaner is down on the first floor in the golf club room. It's really weird. I don't know why they just piled everything up on the floor in their closet. And then they had laundry baskets. So I'm not exactly sure why everything up in here. It just looked like a lot of clothes, but I'm really not sure. See? It's all like neatly folded. Here, everything is all like neatly folded. But the initial photos of this closet, it looked like somebody ransacked that shit. These are like Ethan's clothes over here. It was like a dress jacket, a pair of dress pants. You've got this one droplet with that tailing too. So it's got like a double tail to it. Okay. So this is 3 feet, approximately 3 feet, 7 inches. From, I'm guessing, the trim, not the floor, Based on what appears to be their measuring system. 3 feet 7 inches. Approximately. Okay. Let's keep going, friends. Where are we at? We're at 1423. Wow, we've already gotten through. We started at what, 1175? Not bad. Not bad. Where are we at? When did I start this live? Holy shit. Hour and 40 minutes. Okay. Okay. It's not as long as I thought. Not as long as I thought. Not bad. We're kind of crushing it, actually. They did measure from the floor there, Suzanne. Okay. Thanks, honey. I was just assuming they started at the trim. So we're at 1423. It's almost 10:30. You guys know. It's almost about that time. I should have been yawning an hour ago, but I'm not. But I am making myself go to bed tonight. I will not let the insomnia get the best of me anymore. I'll eat like 5 melatonins. I'm going to bed one way or another. I'll eat like 3 of my gummies. Make myself pass out. My little melatonin gummies. Okay, what do we got here? Oh, yeah, okay, the trash can, right? So this thing initially in the photos, before they started doing anything to the room, it's like flipped over on its side under the desk, right? And that's where it seems to stay for like the entirety of everything. And then for whatever reason, they eventually take it out from under the desk and actually, you know, label it, photograph it, and whatever. The problem is that at this point, they have already moved so much stuff in this room. Rug, nightstand, clothing, pillows, Coors Light box, Taco Bell, bloody Taco Bell bag was like underneath clothes. So this literally could have got transferred on here from a plethora of things. It could just be literal cross-contamination of them moving things around like crazy. It does look like a couple of finger swipes, like with gloves on or something, but who knows? Could have been from them when they were bagging, tagging, swabbing, putting victims in body bags and things like that. For all we know, they transferred it, smeared it. Who knows? Okay, this is what I mean about that little weird circle, right? So it could just be the heel of a foot, but this is why part of me is like, I wonder if it's from the stool, because when you look at the little leg of the stool, see? The little foot on it? It's almost like this, well, no, because technically, it's like you'd get that half circle mark, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at. Probably is more than likely from a beer can, but I feel like with the wheel of the chair, especially because these are the spinny wheels, I don't know. I feel like it kind of like gives you that half circle type shape. But who knows? Yeah, and to me, this looks more like fingerprint, but this area here looks more like would be from fingers, but I'm not sure. Because it definitely transferred to a lot of stuff here. Wondering if this is... Did they ever say whose blood this was on this stool? Anyone in the chat remember? Did they say if they ended up testing this and what it came back as or who? Yeah, if you know, let me know because I don't remember. I do feel like I remember them talking about the stool. Obviously, they marked it. It's got the little pink tag next to it. But I don't remember if they actually talked about whether or not it was tested and who it came back to. Tattoo Gal, hello. Bo, hello. Welcome on in. Yeah, that's right. Did you guys hit the like? Have you thumbs it up, thumbs it down? Okay. So anyways, I have no idea who this came back to. Couldn't tell you. I'm not even sure if they figured out who this blood belonged to. If it was only Xana, I have no idea. Unknown, couldn't tell you. Marker C. If anybody remembers what Marker C ended up coming back to, or what Marker C was relabeled to, I have no idea. No, he renumbered, right? Not relabeled. So it was their numbering system. This is the letters, so, interesting. So he renumbered the second set. Shit that was done. They didn't use letters, right? 2 feet. Almost 2.5 feet. Okay. Feet 3 inches. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of the blood in this room is actually like low to the ground, like 3 feet and under, unless it's over by Ethan. But it just seems like a lot of the blood in the rest of the room is like 3 feet and below, which is interesting. You know, like 3.5 feet or less is where most of the blood appears to be. It just all appears to be at a very low level in the room. Um, hmm. Yeah, and some of these pictures, like, I don't know, you can see the tape and stuff, obviously, but I don't even know. They're so washed out. Yeah, see, there's like nothing back here, which technically there shouldn't be because there was a drawer here. But as you keep looking, it's weird. There's really nothing like on the front of it. Yeah, a lot of these are just kind of washed out, friends. Sorry, some of them are just like these bright white walls. Very washed out. You can see like a couple of like little specks and maybe like a little bit a transfer or something, but it's really hard to tell because they're pretty washed out. Yeah. Even with like the height, in the room, it's very interesting. This is just like right above that little fabric drawer thingy. It's almost like a lot of the blood in this room is like 3.5 feet and below. It's very low to the ground. And like, so like none of this blood got onto the candle jars or anything. It didn't get like up here on the bar of this little drawer thingy. It didn't get onto the jars of the candles. Doesn't look like it did. It doesn't look like it got on any of the like bars here. It's like it went around it and got in, but not only did it get around the bars, it managed to get like on the wall back here, even behind the nightstand, and like, I don't know, it's just interesting. It's very, very interesting. Don't listen to me, I don't know anything. It's just my brain worms when I look at this stuff, friends. That's it. Hmm. So, this here, so this blood here on the wall somehow manages to get behind this and get back here. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. A lot more like washed out. Here we go. Hmm. Okay. Let's keep going. Hmm. Yeah. This one here definitely looks like a cessation pattern, but these to me, it's like coming off of clothes. Or, I mean, it's definite like transfer, but it's almost like it has these streaks, very tiny, thin streaks through it as well, almost like hair. Um, so I don't know. Okay, sorry, friends. Sorry. We're, gonna be done here in a minute anyway. I'm getting tired and I'm going to bed soon. Let's see where we're gonna end up leaving it off at. Because a lot of these you can't really make stuff out. A lot, like I said, they're very like whited out, um, overexposed, whatever you want to call it. Bright light. Person used a very bright flash. Like, to me, I can't even tell what they're photographing here. It just looks like a regular white wall with maybe one tiny little drop, like right there, and one right here, maybe, but. Okay. Yeah, because now we're getting down towards. Okay. These are the string lights up behind the bed, right? Okay. Yeah, now we're back by Ethan's side. Okay. Yeah, and then these are the ones that were on the side by Ethan, if I remember correctly. These were some of the ones also they were talking about, ended up diluted after swabbing, right? If I remember correctly. Because these look way too diluted to be what's on that wall next to Ethan. Or where Ethan was found. See what I mean? Like, that's really what it kind of looked like, but what we just saw here, that's too diluted to be coming from this. I mean, some of these are very, very tiny spatter, but then it's also like it has this larger secondary spatter over it, and then maybe even a third spatter over the secondary. I know that sounds nuts, but to me it looks like three different patterns of blood, one on top of the other. Does that make sense? Let me come back to chat. This one to me looks like it's three different patterns, one on top of the other. You have something that caused the much tinier spatter first, and then other injuries that cause these secondary larger droplets second, and then these, but then I don't know if these are from their swabbing as well, but these look much more diluted than the rest. But I don't know. It's very interesting when you look at this stuff. It's sad, it's horrifying, but at the same time too, you know, I find these things very interesting, very intriguing. I'm sorry if that upsets certain people. I had someone say anyone who wants to look at these photos is a sick individual. I'm like, well, tell that to NBC because they paid fucking tons of money for the ones that they got from NPD. And if you think they're not looking at them and they didn't look at them when they got them, you're crazy. They did. Just because they didn't show them doesn't mean those weren't passed around to all of the journalists at NBC and all of the people who ever covered this case, and then they gave them to their friends and they gave them to their friends. I mean, can we stop? You know? I can't believe you're showing these photos. I can't believe you're talking about these photos. Well, what do you mean you can't believe it? Why? I don't understand why you can't believe that. You know, public FOIA requests are a thing. It's the process. The public has a right to it. It's a closed case. You know, it is what it is. If Howard Blum can go make millions writing books filled with a bunch of bullshit propaganda and profit out of the nose, he literally has so much money, he doesn't even know what to do with it. That's how much money he's made off of this case and writing books full of bullshit about this case. So, you know, it's always interesting to me when someone throws that out there about like, oh, you're doing this for monetary gain. You're monetizing the deaths, people's deaths. It's like, listen, if you want to go fucking pearl clutch, right? Do it somewhere else. Go pearl clutch over at NBC and Howard Blum and Nancy Grace and Ashley Banfield and Brian Enton and all of the other people who have entire careers making money off of this case, talking about this case, writing books about this case. They, not only that, but they get a salary. So they get a salary from their, you know, whatever news agency has hired them and has them covering it. And then if they also have their own little YouTube channel and podcast and whatever, they're making millions off that too. Plus their sponsorships and so stop. Stop. Don't come and tell me the person earning fucking pennies over here on YouTube that I shouldn't be talking about it or that it's appalling I'm even talking about it when you've got all these other people out here earning millions and millions and millions of dollars every time they fucking talk about it. I don't want to hear it. So that's just my opinion on that. Sorry for my tangent. Willie, what up, homie? Welcome on in. It's just super interesting to me, you know. All of these other people, they can go out and make millions of bucks talking about it and whatever and covering it, but it's because they're pushing a specific narrative, which is why no one has a problem with them talking about it, because they're not actually asking questions. They're just saying whatever they're supposed to say. That's the difference. And they're making millions doing it. So I'd rather just be sitting over here broke, not making millions, but at least talking about it in an honest way where it's okay to ask questions when something you're looking at or reading causes you to ask a fucking question. And I'm not going to be told that what to think, what to ask, what to say. I won't have my speech policed. I won't have my thoughts policed by people, by the fucking Karen brigade on the internet. It's not going to happen. So just wanted to put that out there before we close out this live tonight. The Karen brigade don't want to come here. The Karen brigade can move on. I don't know why. There's certain people out there that think they're the arbiters of the internet and they get to tell everybody else on the internet what to do, how to do it, what to think, what to say. I'm definitely not the person you want to try that with, though. We'll just throw that out there. So anyways, I think what we're going to do, friends, is probably just stop here. We're at 1570. Not bad. We started out at 1175, so we got through about 400, almost 400 photos tonight. So not bad. Obviously, we'll pick back up again tomorrow. Try and go through at least another 300-400 more. I was not going to try. Obviously, this is 3,000 photos, so no, I don't think anybody's trying to do all 3,000 in one live. I'm not, so unfortunately, we had to break this up into different lives. But I hope you guys appreciated that I left all of the ads off of this live for the whole live. I didn't want anybody to have an interruption with an ad or have to skip or wait. So hopefully you appreciate it that I've been doing my live streams ad-free. Covering these crime scene pics. And, you know, that way there's no interruptions. Post-woke, right? It's crazy how this is relaxing. Yeah, tell me about it, honey. That's what I'm saying. I've been looking at shit like this since I was like 12 years old with my grandmother. She's the one who got me into anything to do with crime scenes, blood. Murders, you know, studying weirdo killers, psycho killers. Don't ask me why. She got me into it and I was hooked. So, you know, I was literally the kid that was like 12 years old, and when all the other kids were outside playing, especially if we got a snowstorm, kids would come banging on the door. You gonna come sledding? I'm like, no. No, I would stay inside in my bathrobe and my slippers with a cup of hot chocolate and sit with my grandmother and watch murder shows. So yeah, it is what it is. Okay, I'm a weirdo, always have been, and I love it, and I'm never going to change. So yes, exactly. Moonlit, I agree. And that's why I decided to do it that way. That's why I decided to do it that way. Because I know when I'm in a live, I hate nothing more than when I'm trying to listen to something and then all of a sudden a fucking ad pops in and interrupts it. So I wanted to at least make sure that while we do these lives, they're not monetized. I run them ad-free, no interruptions. I can always go turn on monetization later. But YouTube has actually been demonetizing the videos that have to do with the crime scene pics, at least for me anyway. I think they put like a limited ad or something on mine. I got some notification about it. Not a copyright strike, but like a limited ad thing. So whatever, it's fine, right? I don't give a shit. I don't need to make any money off of any of this as far as the photos and stuff like that goes. So it's fine for me. If it's limited ads, it's limited ads. But I at least want to keep the lives when we're looking at these photos to no ads. That way there's no interruptions for you guys. It is super annoying. All right, so yeah, we're going to end it here, friends. 1570. Okay, and we'll pick it back up tomorrow at 1571. And hopefully everybody has a great night. It's always fun hanging out with you. I hope you guys were all kind in chat. Everybody stayed nice. Don't forget, everything here is just my opinions on what I'm seeing and what I'm looking at. Do not ever listen to me. You know, and you should just come to your own conclusions, okay? Read the docs yourself, look at everything yourself, and come to your own conclusions. It's not my job to tell anybody what to think, okay? But I hope everybody has a great night. Mods, thank you. Appreciate every single one of you. Hope you guys have an awesome night, and we'll see you mañana. Bye.